Hello everybody, it's Justin from Gaming Instincts TV, and today I'm here to bring you a review of 7 Level's new medieval platformer, Castle of Hearts, for the Nintendo Switch. Castle of Hearts is a hack-and-slash platformer with a medieval twist. You take on the role of a cursed knight turned to stone who is on a quest to save his beloved from an evil sorcerer. Traveling through different environments and battling different types of enemies, you will be challenged every step of the way. Show your enemies the power of love and courage in Castle of Hearts. Castle of Hearts is a good-looking game, with over 20 completely different levels. Detailed 3D textures fill the background, and warm colors surround the area. At times, some enemies blend in with the background a little, so it makes it hard to distinguish them unless they are moving. Losing sight of an enemy can be a deadly action, as enemies can dish out some serious damage. The colors work very well with their respective environments. The green with the grassy village, the fiery red hue of the burning ruins makes these environments feel active and natural. Lighting is also a great part of Castle of Hearts, especially in the later levels. Lighting is important for setting the mood of a scene, and 7 Levels has done a nice job with their use of lighting. Something we noticed is that in the background are objects that look as though they are in the middle ground of the environment. That is, until we tried to hit them and realized, nope, they're in the background. Objects contain items sometimes, so it's important to check them when you can. Enemy designs are well done too. You've got your typical enemies like grunts and shield men, but in later levels you'll be able to fight monsters, which can vary depending on where you are in the game. The Cursed Knight's design is pretty vanilla though, a typical knight, which is what we are essentially. It would have been nice to outfit our stone knight or even customize him a little to make the experience feel more personal, but sometimes simple is better. He kinda looks like the Knight of Astoria from Dark Souls if you look closely, only made of stone. Combat is difficult in Castle of Hearts. It's an experience that's made to challenge you. Some enemies require you to think on your feet instead of at the end of your sword. Of course, you could always run up to them and start slashing away, but more than likely eventually you'll run into a gang of them and you won't make it out alive. There's one crucial element of the game I should mention. Oh yeah, your health is constantly depleting. Over time your health will drop and the challenge gets more and more greater. There are 2 ways to regain health. One is by acquiring red health gems, and the other is by finding a checkpoint, which will refill your health to maximum. Red health gems can be found hidden in the environment or acquired by defeating enemies. Blue gems can extend your health once enough are collected to fill the meter next to your health bar. Something that really got on our nerves, and you may find this in your game too, but some enemies that are high up on ledges will stand at the very edge and prevent you from jumping up. Then they'll fire at you with whatever throwable weapon they have. This makes it difficult to kill them unless you have a crossbow or a throwable weapon. You can also use the downward strike to hit them. This blocking makes escaping from a large group of enemies difficult at times and can even result in your death. Boss fights are interesting and pretty straightforward and simple. After a while, you'll get the hang of their patterns and movements. Bosses can do a lot of damage, so it's important not to get too cocky. The Cursed Knight can also use heavy attacks. Heavy attacks like downward thrust, using L plus Y, consumes health with each use, so it's wise to save your heavy attacks for when you really need them. Castle of Hearts features roughly 50 long-range and short-range weapons to choose from, so you can find the weapon that best suits your playstyle. Cursed Knight can also pick up consumables like bombs and throwing knives and axes. You can view what items you have in the bottom left corner. Consumables can be found in many places in the environment and taken from fallen foes. You can also pick up a second weapon to use in combat. Weapons such as crossbows to shoot down objects or enemies, or melee weapons like a second sword. Although, when your health is low enough, you can say goodbye to these weapons. Once the Cursed Knight falls below a certain level of health, his arm falls off, leaving you with only your main weapon to defend yourself with. Also remember that your health is constantly depleting, so it's a good idea to keep an eye on your health meter, unless you want to lose an arm out of the blue. Once your health rises back above the level your arm is restored, and you can once again use 2 weapons. Combat is nice and challenging, what you'd expect from a hack-and-slash platformer. Castle of Hearts features a story that's more or less forgettable.
An ancient legend tells of a cruel sorcerer that lived in a castle on top of a mountain endlessly engulfed in fog. His greed knew no limits. His heart of stone and otherworldly looks caused people to shiver in terror each year. The ruthless sorcerer demanded great tribute and sacrifices from his subjects. The villagers lived happily enough until he returned and demanded more than they were able to give. A brave knight decided to stand up against the oppression to defend the woman he loved. The greedy tyrant did not take kindly to the young man's protest and retaliated by casting a terrible curse on all the villagers. Silence fell upon the village. The only sound heard from among the stone figures was the weeping of a lone young woman, saved by the night. This wasn't enough for the sorcerer. He kidnapped the maiden and locked her in the deepest dungeons of his castle. The sorcerer, however, underestimated the power of love. A single tear made the heart trapped in within the stone body beat anew.
It's a classic story. A simple knight goes on a quest to save his beloved. How he moves around while being made of stone is something that science can't explain. You'll need to consult your local sorcerer for that. Our final score is a 7.5, a good game that we recommend trying at least once. Alright everybody, that is going to do it for this video. We hope you enjoyed watching. Leave a comment below as we read each and every one that comes our way. Don't forget to check out our website where you can find more news, top 10 lists, and guides for all your favorite games. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and click the bell notification icon to keep up to date with all your favorite Gaming Instincts TV content. Peace.